And Gavin is someone I know quite well because we worked together in the Confidence and Supply Agreement between the Conservative Party and the DUP back in 2017. He was very much involved at that time because he was Chief Whip before then. So not only was he Secretary of State for Defence, he was Secretary of State for Education most recently. Yes, had a difficult time, but who didn't have a difficult time in government, let's face it, during COVID, dealing with some huge problems. But he was Chief Whip for a long time as well. So I don't think we should just dismiss him as someone who was in Parliament not doing very much. He's someone who has clearly served the country, and I think it's wrong to just dismiss it in that way. And for goodness sake, we give, as a country, Tony Blair a knighthood, so don't start me on that.
Well, we had a good discussion on that a few weeks ago, didn't we, when that was announced? I think for me, the thing that I found the most kind of surprising about it is actually the timing. It seems to come kind of a little bit out of the blue. Ordinarily, we see them in the sort of the New Year's honours list and the Queen's birthday honours list. But according to the Daily Mail, it was because back in January, when the New Year's honours list was announced, there was one of the sort of Partygate parties being investigated at the Department for Education, which the Met are now not investigating, which means that the honour has been bestowed. I think it's an interesting one. I'd be curious to hear your views at home. What do you think? Do you think that Gavin Williamson is deserving of his knighthood, or Sir Gavin, as we should perhaps now be calling him? Paul, I'm kind of curious. Do you think that it could actually be more beneficial moving forward if we took out political appointments by political parties and made it done on a more kind of cross-party public service perspective?
I just think it's whatever the system is, it's a question of judgment. Ultimately, that's what it boils down to. And I can't imagine that anybody in government didn't realise that this was going to cause a reaction. I mean, I've got nothing against Gavin Williamson on a personal level, and as Arlene said, he's probably worked hard in Parliament. But if there were, if you took a poll of the public and you said, look, which politicians would you really object to being awarded a knighthood at this moment in time? I would imagine that Gavin Williamson would have been up there at the top of the tree. So even if people in government did feel he genuinely deserved it, sometimes you just have to exercise a bit of judgment. This is not going to go down well more widely amongst the public. It does undermine the honours system. We shouldn't do it.